guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking a break from my normal content. Normally I've been talking about homesteading, gardening, sourdough content, and I'm going to be talking about homeschooling, which fits really well in with homesteading. And I thought I would make this video because I've had a lot of people ask me what homeschooling curriculum we use, or they've been wanting updates because I used to make videos about homeschooling and I haven't in a while. In the past, we used the Good and the Beautiful. It's a workbook type of curriculum and it worked really well, but I decided I wanted to move away from workbooks. Now you may be wondering, what curriculum are we actually using now? So before we used the Good and the Beautiful, now we've switched to Ambleside Online. I've actually been doing that now for 2 school years. I just haven't had the chance to do an update. And so I decided to move to a more Charlotte Mason style curriculum. I'm not going to go in depth onto what Charlotte Mason is. I would encourage you to do your own research on that. And it's very literature based. It's not only literature based though, it's like rich literature. It's not just what she calls twaddle. A lot of the books are older, but a lot of those older books include really rich language and ideas. Modern school books, like textbooks, they tend to be very dry. They're not very interesting for the kids, and the kids don't really retain the information that they learned as well because they're just reading facts, where a lot of these books that we use in Ambleside Online, they really bring ideas and stories and history, for example, to life. And what I love specifically about Ambleside Online is that it's free and open to the public. It was created by a group of mothers who did the curriculum. They took Charlotte Mason's ideas and created their own curriculum. So I'll include a link to Ambleside Online down below and you can check it out for yourself. And I'll try to include some homeschooling resources in the description box as well. So I'm not going to go too in depth about Ambleside Online or Charlotte Mason, but if you're really interested in that, I could do more videos about that, so let me know down in the comments below. So one of the things that Charlotte Mason did in her schools back like 100 years ago was that she taught Shakespeare even to elementary school kids. So my kids are in elementary school, by the way. I have a 1st grader and a 3rd grader who are about to go into 2nd and 4th grade right now. And then I also have a preschooler and a toddler. So she had kids learning Shakespeare, and the way that she taught Shakespeare was by having them read out of books like this one. This one's Beautiful Stories from Shakespeare. There's another one, there's 2 different ones. There's like the Lamb one too. And then so as they get older, my daughter's about to go into 4th grade, they'll actually read the plays and we might even listen to it as well. And you do kind of an in-depth study of them. But for the little kids, they start by just learning the stories. And so by the time they get to learning the plays, they already know the basic story. So I love that. I love teaching my kids Shakespeare, and we also listen to classical music. I am a classically trained musician, so they kind of listen to classical music all the time anyway. And we study art, we do art study, there's poetry, they each are studying a poet. And something else that I do that is not specifically in the curriculum, I have these copy workbooks. Last year we did the Chronicles of Narnia. This year we're going to do Bible verse copy workbooks. So my older daughter is doing the cursive one, the younger daughter is doing the print, and I just have them do that to help them practice their handwriting. And now my older daughter is going into 4th grade, so she's going to be doing written narrations. So that will also help her practice grammar and spelling as well. And then I've mentioned this before, but I have my kids do Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. This is what I start my kids off with in kindergarten. And then 1st grade, we do still do the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level 1. And I find when I do those 2 books in order, it really gets them to a level where they can start reading books on their own. I'm just going to show you examples of some of the literature. 2 years ago, we did Pilgrim's Progress with my older daughter. Now we're about to do it with my younger daughter, and I like to do the Little Pilgrim's Progress instead of the original. And I haven't mentioned this yet, but I don't do the curriculum to a T. I don't know if anybody actually does, but I use it as my outline and then I kind of modify it based on what I need for my family. This is an example of what we're going to be reading this year with my younger daughter, The Wind in the Willows. So as you can see, we're reading advanced literature. Like this is, I think, like maybe an 8th or a 9th grade level book. So even though they're not at the level where they can read this themselves, reading out loud helps them learn language and exposes them to rich literature at a young age. And I do feel really strongly about exposing my kids to rich literature because it's kind of like eating a whole food diet versus like a junk food diet. I want to make sure that my kids are nourishing their brains as well as their bodies. So that's something that's really important to me in my teaching philosophy. Here's another example. This is for like the level 1 first grade science is learning about the different birds. This next year we're going to do the animal book and learn about different animals, and it really is cute because it goes in depth about different facts about each kind of bird, for example, or animal, but it tells it in a cute little story kind of way that the kids really love. So the kids have actually, even though we didn't finish this book, the kids went through and read this on their own because they loved it so much. We also do Bible, so I don't strictly follow the reading schedule that they have on Ambleside Online. I just kind of do my own Bible reading schedule. I use the English Standard Version for our Bible because that's what I read. I don't read the King James Version. And then this is not a part of Ambleside Online. This is the math curriculum that we use. And so Ambleside Online says you can pick whatever math curriculum resonates with you. So we do Singapore math, and I picked Singapore math because it's very rigorous. It's more advanced. It has kids doing stuff doing advanced stuff at a younger age. I've noticed like my younger daughter is just learning multiplication, and my older daughter, we're a little bit ahead. My kids are pretty good at math, so my third grader's already on the beginning of fourth grade, and she's learning about mixed numbers and improper fractions right now. So, and then I'm just pulling out some of the history books here. Ambleside Online does a 6-year history rotation, so that's a little different than other curriculums. They might do like a 3 or 4 year history rotation. Ambleside Online covers world history, British history, and American history. We're going to do early American history. We're doing Abigail Adams. We got George Washington's world. We have another book that is focused on African Americans in the American Revolution, so that's going to be really cool. And then there's a world history book. It's the Child's History of the World. They have a church history book that they read. It's Trial and Triumph. And then we have our island story for British history. And that sounds like a lot, but they rotate through them. They're just reading like a chapter of one here a week and a chapter here. Like, it's not as crazy maybe as it might seem. This Poor Richard is going to be about Benjamin Franklin. Ambleside Online is not just focused on American history. That's the one thing that I did not like about public school. I went to public school and we just learned about American history over and over and over, and we only had like 2 or 3 years, I think, of world history. And there are some geography books. We just did Marco Polo for geography for 3rd grade, and his journey across Eurasia. We also have atlases. I thought about getting like a globe so the kids can see, more realistically things on the map, but we do geography study. We do map games and stuff like that, trying to find places on the map. And then I have a student Bible atlas as well. And then we also do foreign language study. So I start my kids on a modern foreign language, and then as they get older, Ambleside Online recommends starting in 4th grade, starting Latin. However, I've started Latin with my older daughter in 3rd grade using the Memoria Press Latina Christiana. They even have Prima Latina, which could be started as early as 2nd grade. And then now we're going to be going into first form Latin. Another good book, I wish I had grabbed it, but another good book that we have that I've used as well is, the name is escaping me right now, so I'll just put the text on the screen when I look it up later. But if you're looking for a more gentle introduction to Latin, if you feel like Latina Christiana or a curriculum like that might be a little too intense, there are ones that are a little more gentle. Then we also are doing a modern language, so we start with this before going into the Latin. We have been doing both French and German. They recommend just doing like one modern language, but we've just loved French and German, so we rotate every other day. We do one or the other. So I have this from Cherrydale Press, and it has audio recordings that come with it. So the cool thing about this is that you're reading like real phrases and sentences instead of just studying vocabulary lists. It's more of a living way of studying a foreign language. If we don't feel like doing that book, we will listen to French or German songs or stories in French or German. And I have this book in French and German. It's just a first 1,000 words book. And one last thing I want to mention before I close out this video is that we do supplement the science a little bit. So for science for elementary, and I think it goes into early middle school, is building foundations of scientific understanding. It's not a workbook kind of curriculum. It's just like talking through things and maybe doing experiments. The nice thing about Ambleside Online is a lot of the books too are available through public domain, so I download them onto my Kindle, and that saves a lot of money. And then I get some books from my library, and then the rest of them I just go out and buy, and I usually don't have to spend that much per year. I'm reusing all these books for all my kids, so it really is affordable, and it's a really rich education, and it's available to anyone. You can just go on there right now and check it out. So if you think about homeschooling, this is just one curriculum. There's lots of different curriculums out there. If this doesn't resonate with you, that's cool. But if you're interested in Ambleside Online or Charlotte Mason, I'll have some more links for you down in the description box below. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I do most of my videos about homesteading and gardening, homeschooling occasionally, and sourdough. So if you love that kind of stuff, please subscribe and let me know down in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.